it's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my own new review of Love and Marriage Detroit. And I'm finding out that this upcoming weekend is the season finale. What episode are we on? 5, 6? Like, I'm so proud of myself for making it this far with this season, because I sure fell off the first season, but this is all we got? Really? Carlos, this is supposed to be a city you're proud to be from, right? You want to rep Detroit all day, right? But you're not giving the same amount of care, courtesy to make Detroit another hit like you're doing with Love and Marriage Huntsville. Like, you don't care. And if you don't care, why should we care? Why should any of the viewers care that you are expanding the franchise of Love and Marriage, but yet you're not going to give it the same support, give it the same energy as you did with Love and Marriage Huntsville? Like, it's crazy. And you know how fast Love and Marriage Detroit airs more than Love and Marriage Huntsville? Because a lot goes on Love and Marriage Huntsville that flows where it makes a long-ass episode. Detroit don't flow like that. Detroit just has sequences that are just put together like random puzzle pieces that's going to magically form a picture. And it don't feel like you're watching a 45-minute video. It feels like you're watching a 15, 20-minute video, which is hopefully how long I'll get this video done, because not much happened this episode. So we're starting at Christina's surprise birthday party, which is being planned by Brandon. He has Chelsea set it up and also a friend of Christina's, right? The first people to arrive was Anthony and LaToya. Mind you, LaToya disinvited herself last episode because she couldn't handle being called out by Chelsea. And at first, I'm kind of like, we're not going to get a conversation of her telling Anthony she ain't going. Oh, small flashback. She's not going. He convinced her to go. Wanted to build her head up by being this big, smart, sexy, black CEO doctor. Put on your red heels, put on your high heels type of thing, right? And, okay, Anthony, I see what you're doing, okay? And she's only going to go if Chelsea gives her an apology. I wish that you wouldn't have gotten an apology, because you did not deserve one. The only person who was deserving of an apology was Chelsea, and that was by your husband. So, when they arrived, Chelsea and the other friend was like whispering, who was that? Is that the guy? That was the guy. So automatically knowing that Anthony's coming in. And the flashback of what happened last season. Anthony was doing way too much at his wife's own wine event, calling a woman out of her name, calling her a bird, telling Christina she needs to level up, find better people to surround herself with. You're around bosses, act like a boss, just doing way too much. I swear to God. LaToya and Anthony, they get on my nerves because they like to pretend like they're that couple. They got money like that. They got connections like that. Like, they're just fakers. I'm sorry. Regardless of LaToya's credentials of being a doctor, I don't know what Anthony is without LaToya. I don't think he knows how to stand on his own without LaToya. But I'm going to move on. So the purpose of having LaToya be at the jewelry store was he's upgrading Christina's ring. It was due for a new ring, and I asked your wife for help, but as we were there, Chelsea and LaToya were exchanging words. It didn't go well. And Chelsea admitted the conversation wasn't as successful as she thought it was. LaToya want to keep up with the disrespect. Chelsea stands on that I was being intentionally disrespectful. I was. But at the same time, you did not deserve that. I had stored animosity from your husband, which means your husband should get most of the venom that I had, and it should have been towards you. And at that moment, LaToya, you and Anthony should have not acted like y'all didn't know what she was talking about. Because this is the perfect time for Anthony to be a fucking man and apologize to Chelsea for being rude and disrespectful to her, because he did it for no reason. But instead, they want to act like they don't have time for this. They don't want to act like, oh, Lord, help this child. They want to act like they're so above the mess. Baby, this is the shit I'm talking about. Y'all can't pretend like what happened last season didn't happen. Everybody who watched Detroit, watched that episode, have all agreed Anthony should never have disrespected Chelsea for no reason. He did way too much. All because someone was calling out his obsession with Brandon and Christina's marriage. And I don't remember what else had happened at that point. Because did Latoya ever correct her husband? Because that's the part that Latoya needs to admit. You need to admit your husband did too much to another woman, Latoya. Y'all can't act like y'all above mess, but yet y'all want to entertain mess. But when mess is at y'all fucking doorstep that y'all started, that y'all engaged in it, y'all gotta own that shit too. I can't stand that shit. So Anthony is avoiding taking accountability, talking about he's not going on an apology tour. Chelsea said, I'm done, I'm moving on. We not stupid. We know what happened. Like, at the end of the day, this shouldn't be nothing hard for Anthony to say, I'm sorry. But I don't think Anthony believes he does anything wrong. I think he feels like since he wants to be blunt and he tells it like it is, you can take it how you want to take it. But no, majority of the people who took it how you took it was you being rude and disrespectful. Like, moving on from that, I ain't got time. Brandon, whole wish is that none of this affects him coming back into the house. He doesn't want none of this drama to affect him coming back to the house. So Latoya now says that the post that Chelsea supposedly did that bashed her business never made any effect to her business. But y'all want to make it seem as if Chelsea went out of her way to bash your business. And you never provided proof that she bashed your business. And let me say this though, because I didn't say in my last video. I don't believe that Chelsea was looking for a moment. I don't. I think since she was disrespected on camera, she's returned the favor by calling out what y'all did to her on camera. Y'all wanted to make it seem as if Chelsea was looking for a moment when y'all made it more bigger than it was. Y'all kept adding Chelsea in something that made it negative. Instead of y'all just owning up to the fact Anthony did too much. Point blank period. And I feel like you're covering up for the both of y'all because I don't know if you don't want to have those types of conversations with Anthony about the way he engaged in negative moments with women. I don't know if you want to have them. So you want to act like it doesn't bother you. You want to act like it doesn't matter. You are so above it. I don't know. But it's crazy to me how you just want to call out everybody else's issues. You want to call out everybody else's avoidance of taking accountability when you're not taking accountability that your husband did some foul shit last season. Moving on. So, wow. Chelsea did call Latoya out of her name. She said, I'm sorry that I disrespected you. Latoya accepts her apology, but at the end of the day, she ain't gonna let it go. So Kobe and Russell decided to show up. Brandon's happy. They put the differences to the side. And I think Kobe just showed up because she didn't want to be in the house all day. I think she wanted some attention from other people because she was tired of being there with Russell. So this was supposed to be a surprise party, but yet everyone can see inside that it was a party, but it wasn't a surprise party. So Christina knew what she was walking into. And Christina looked fabulous, by the way. She walked in, everybody said, surprise, happy birthday. She was overcome with emotion, so happy. She's been showing all this love and support because she has not been feeling well since going back and forth with her marriage with Brandon. And Brandon tried to showcase some emotion by telling Christina she's been riding for him, she's held him down, and this ring is a symbol of my love. The ring was gorgeous, and I don't know. I mean, the energy between the two of them, I don't know if Christina was holding back by not trying to be affectionate towards him because she didn't even kiss him when she got the ring on. And I don't know. We'll see, but like I said, I don't think that Brandon is ready. And I don't think him using this party and the ring is supposed to say, okay, you can come back into the house. I don't think it's the right time. I don't. So everybody sits down and Kobe and Latoya are fucking bothered, especially Kobe. You can see Kobe looking pressed. Like her whole demeanor. Kobe does not have a great poker face. She don't. And she can't hide if she feels some type of way through her emotions, right? So while seeing the tension, Christina called it out by asking, what's with this tension? Latoya explained the situation about how we were involved with helping you or helping Brandon buy a new ring for you. And me and Chelsea exchanged some words, but she apologized. We have moved forward. Kobe is looking for her apology because she only heard that Latoya got hers, so she puts 20 on 10 by bringing up that Chelsea called her out of her name and not realizing she's a pregnant woman. And Chelsea said, we're not going to play that card, baby. You insert yourself in a conversation that had nothing to do with you. So don't even think that because you're pregnant, I just happened to just come after you. And that's not what I did. She never intentionally meant to disrespect you because you were pregnant, Kobe. And Kobe, you are really dragging it out by being pregnant when majority of this season you have been complaining that you're pregnant. And you have been complaining that you're pregnant with another baby girl. So Kobe going off and said, I never called you out of your name. I called you Chelsea. But Kobe is so mad. Like, she's hiding for no reason. And I think that Kobe is projecting her frustrations about what's going on in her household, what she wish her husband would just understand and give her that support. And she do need to calm down because, one, you're pregnant. So you really need to calm yourself down. And Russell was nudging her to relax, and she kind of like looked at him and nudged back and said, I don't want to relax, baby. You might want to. And the moment that Chelsea and Kobe was having, Christina did not like it. It was at her party. And you want to say that Chelsea's looking for a moment. Kobe, you are looking for a moment right now, okay? You were waiting for your opportunity to have this confrontation with Chelsea because she wasn't looking for you to have it. She wasn't about to come after you. She was about to just enjoy her party. That's what it was, okay? And Kobe, you're losing me because right now you're reading more into Chelsea calling you a stooge to align with you being pregnant. That's not even like landed right now because not right now you're throwing out that Chelsea doesn't know what it means to be pregnant, doesn't know what it means to have a child. So now you're making it seem as if she had no whereabouts of how wrong it is to come after a pregnant woman when you don't know what it's like to have a child. But I'm like, that's irrelevant, Kobe. She didn't come after you because you were pregnant. She checked you because you inserted yourself in a conversation and you got checked. You being called a stooge has nothing to do with you being pregnant. She never called you a bitch. She didn't say nothing that aligned with anything negative with you being pregnant. So the fact you want to use this moment to teach her that calling a pregnant woman her name is wrong, no, Kobe, don't do that. And you want to add on, you know what it's like to bring life into this world and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, girl, Kobe, you doing too much, ma'am. You doing way too much. This victim mentality, like, you're not a victim, Kobe. You're not. Just because you're pregnant doesn't mean people got to walk on eggshells with you. And being a pregnant woman, you should not get involved in situations that you don't need to be involved in. And that's what Chelsea said. Chelsea knows it's not a good look to argue with a pregnant woman. It's not. But at the same time, Kobe, you should not get involved in situations while being pregnant. So you might want to stop. Please stop. So Chelsea gave an apology to Kobe. Don't know if she gonna take it. I ain't talking about it no more. But in the midst of trying to calm things down and moving forward from that, Christina said, I want everybody to be good. I don't want any animosity. Okay? So she asked Kobe, are you good? She said, I'm good. Now, Kobe, I don't want to hear later on that Christina didn't care about your feelings in this moment between you and Chelsea. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Because in this moment, she asked you, were you okay? I don't want to hear that she never followed up with another conversation to really check on you that you were expecting from. I ain't got time. So, in this moment, Christina opened up with how everybody is in the spirit of moving forward. She mentions the brunch that all the ladies went to, and it was nice. She even had a conversation with Kimberly. And they're about to have a private one-on-one conversation that is much needed about their friendship, right? Because they have not had great moments in the 2 times they've seen each other. And Christina felt like she couldn't even say enough or couldn't even get a word in because Kimberly came out the gate at her first. So Christina is opening up about her feelings in the matter of when Kimberly came at her hard. And says, listen, I'm an emotional person. When I saw Kimberly cry, I don't like seeing people cry. But at the same time, I was not moved by those tears. And I have been manipulated by those tears. So in the confessional, we see how Kimberly might have acted in the demise of their friendship because they were friends for almost a decade ago. And Christine started to notice that Kimberly likes to play on her emotions to get out of conversations and situations she doesn't want to be in, and she ain't falling for it. So if you want to put everything in the past, don't come after my character. And right now, she's about to see a new Christina that she's never met. Now, in this moment, I gave Christina props for finally telling her side of the story of where she is not friends with Kimberly anymore, because we're only getting Kimberly's side. And I wish that Christina didn't use her birthday to discuss her grievances about Kimberly, even though y'all are about to have a private conversation later to move forward. This right here seems a bit fake to me, Christina. And everybody is just like, damn, at her party, damn, she's talking about Kimberly at her party. That's giving weirdo vibes. Anthony, coming from you, it's not giving weirdo vibes. You give weirdo vibes when you be two-faced in front of someone that you don't want to admit you have a problem with. And it wasn't the right time. And you told it to the wrong people, Christina. You, Latoya, and Kobe are not that cool where you can trust that you're venting to them about Kimberly is going to be between y'all. You know, Christina, you know that Kimberly and Latoya, damn these people. You know that Kobe and Latoya are gonna make their rounds of telling Kimberly what you said at your party. You know that. And at that point, it's like it is what it is, okay? So it was an amazing night, but Brandon is hoping that all this animosity that Christina is having is towards everybody else but him, because he wants to get back in the house. And since he did all of this, the night went great. He's hoping to get some coochie. He's hoping to get some coochie at the end of the night. He's hoping that if he gets some good coochie, that will change Christina's mind and have him move back in the house. So right now, all you're focusing on is getting some sex. You're focused on knocking some boots. You don't want nothing else. You don't want the marriage. You don't want the family. You just want some sex. Ergo, the real reason why you married her. But we're going to move on. So now we get Latoya and Anthony. Whenever they're in the scene together, it looks forced. Like they just are awkward. Like it's never real to me. But they're packing up for a birthday trip of their oldest son. He's turning 13. They're going to Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And Latoya is exhibiting OCD, being a control freak, because she wants to monitor and oversee what the kids are packing, what they're packing. And I don't know, Anthony didn't like the fact that Latoya was cracking down on him. Like, you're always on me about something. And it's kind of like, is it fucking real? Do y'all really have a problem? But when it comes to her being a control freak and monitoring and overseeing what the kids are packing, I'm that same way too. I want to make sure that what you're packing is needed and what you don't need to pack. Because right now we're seeing her pretty much be firm and stern with her children, not packing a lot of toys, especially with her daughter. Her daughter wants to pack her doll, and she said, no, I think you don't need to bring one toy. I don't think you need to take your doll. And I sympathize with Latoya in this, because I do the same thing with my kids. If we go somewhere, I don't want you to take every toy you have in your closet. I want you to take a very small number of toys and be mindful that you're not going to take these everywhere, because I do not want you to lose them. I do not want you to put them down somewhere and you forget and it's lost, because kids have short attention spans. They never remember when he puts stuff down. And Anthony comes in and just undermines Latoya. Pretty much says they can pack whatever they want to pack if they lose it, or if we was to buy more toys, we can just ship everything back. It's like everything is not solved with money. I want to teach my kids responsibility, and I also want to teach them discipline, that they're not going to get everything that they want. But Anthony don't hear that. He is willing to be the pushover parent, but yet still say that he doesn't get pushed over. They ain't gonna run over him. Okay, well, you got your daughter wrapped around your finger, because they have a daughter. Out of their 3 kids, they have 1 daughter. And that's Daddy's little princess. And Daddy's little princess get exactly what she wants. And Latoya was like, I don't want to always be the bad guy. I want to be the good guy. And I sympathize with that as well, because my husband has no problem being the bad guy. But the kids respect him. I go so far as trying to be the dictator, the negotiator, and the enabler, possibly the one who enjoys being taken advantage of. My husband has stronger will than I do. He does not get fooled by his daughter's facial expressions because she is an adorable little girl. That's his twin. And he said, I will not be swayed by her cuteness. I will not. I get swayed. And I understand that. And I just don't know the tension between the two of them. It's never real. But all of what Latoya is trying to do is pretty much make up for what she didn't get as a child. Her parents were involved in ministry. Her parents were available for everybody else except for her. So that's why she works as hard as she does, knowing that she has a busy schedule. She wants to give all of her attention to her children, and she wants them to enjoy what they are blessed to have. You know what I'm saying? Yes, a trip to Disneyland is an amazing trip. It's an expensive trip, of course, but that's an amazing thing to have. And she never understood the sacrifice what her parents had to make in order for her to get to where she's at. So right now she doesn't want to be another, not statistic, but have that same mentality that mommy can't go, mommy has to work, or I don't know if I have time. She's not on that wavelength. She will provide time with her kids as much as she can. And I can sympathize that as well, because I want to be available for when my kids are experiencing new things. I want my kids to pretty much have the same opportunities as seeing new things and going places when I was a kid. So moving on from there, we get Kim. She's at her holiday party, the charity event she talked about earlier, where it's giving money for the children, giving back to the youth. Colby and Russell showed up. They give their props, give their support. Then we see Colby and Kimberly have a sidebar conversation. Colby was extremely messy or extremely eager to carry the bone about what Christina said at her birthday party about Kimberly. So she says, did you hear what happened at the party? Kimberly says she heard some things from a friend. That friend being Latoya. And she's thinking that it's about her because why would you be talking about me at your event? Okay, it wasn't all about her event that you were in that conversation. No, it was a moment in that conversation you were mentioned, but majority of the party was having a good time. And again, Kimberly is going off about how she did so much for Christina. She treated her like a sister, but yet we're not getting an exact example, an exact detailed event of what led to the demise of the friendship. Then you got Colby jumping on the bandwagon, hearing her experience about Christina is causing Colby to pull her wall back up, put her guard up. It's like, Colby, do you have a mind of your own or not? Why are you using someone else's experience of Christina to value how you feel moving forward? Like, Colby, you have not made an effort to mend your friendship with Christina. It took Christina to come after you because that's what you wanted. We're not going to come after you, Colby. Either you want this friendship or you don't. But come up with your own reasoning. And I'm stuck again. Like I said, I'm stuck. I'm confusion because apparently Kim had allowed a lot of what her grievances were about Christina not showing up as a friend go on for quite a few years in their friendship. And I'm like, how could you allow a friend or someone who you call a friend not show up as a friend and never tell them that they're not being a better friend to you? Why would you allow that to go on for so long and not say nothing? That makes no sense. And I'm still in dark about what she did to you because you have so much animosity that you should not be holding on to. It's been 6 years, but you're bringing it up as if it's still present time. So Colby says that I believe you and Christina are hurting. You guys both need to hear each other out. And I appreciate that, Colby. And yeah, that's it. I don't have nothing else to say because I feel like, Kimberly, you have expressed to everybody else but Christina what your problem was. And yeah, Christina was faking a moment amongst other women who she knows she shouldn't fully trust with that information about how she had her issues with Kimberly. But again, I'll move on. So now we get Chelsea. Chelsea is back in the studio with Christina, helping her with her vocal exercises, her performance training. She has not been on her P's and Q's with establishing herself as an artist because she's been overloaded with trying to help Brandon with the Star Factory. But she said, I don't have time for that. excuse me, I still have my dreams of becoming an artist, so I have to get back to work. She does. Lakita comes in and she didn't expect for this to be a boot camp session. She thought she was gonna hang out with the girls, maybe get something to eat. And she thanks Chelsea for pulling out the surprise. Brandon did a great job. It was hard keeping it from Christina. And, you know, she was just checking in with Chelsea, like, how you feel about everything. Chelsea's on that wavelength of, listen, if you coming at me and we're going to have a conversation, be prepared of what you're going to get, right? And she did give Chelsea props about the way she handled herself. But in this group, it's a double team. And it is one. If you go after Latoya, Anthony's going to chime in. Vice versa. When you were talking to Latoya, Kobe chimed in. But it don't matter, Chelsea. She can take on whoever she can take on. But if we can't have an honest conversation, we can both talk about what we went wrong, then I don't have nothing to say to you. So, moving on from there. Christina thanks Lakita for coming and notices that we see Bravo a lot, but we don't see Lakita. And again, I think that this conversation or the statements that Christina made were only from her perspective. I don't think she was projecting at that much about her situation with Brandon onto Lakita and Bravo, but I feel like, Lakita, you are part of the show. We should see more. We see Bravo everywhere. Why aren't we seeing you? We are excited that you're now a new couple. We want to get to know you. What does Lakita do? And that's exactly what she said. I want to see more of Lakita. I want Lakita to know that she's important. Because she pretty much said you can be on the side of Bravo, not behind him. It looks like you're his shadow. And that's what Christina felt in her marriage. She felt like she was Brandon's shadow. She felt like her light was dim because he was ahead of everything. But Lakita politely declined Christina's projection in that matter by saying, I'm just shy, I'm just reserved, but it's not in our case. Well, I don't know about in your case, Lakita. I feel like if you don't get involved, then you're not going to get met with information you're not ready to handle. I'm sorry. That's what I believe. Because we're looking at the dynamics of you and Christina and your marriages with these two men who are involved in that lifestyle. And how how they're out all night. And Lakita was already tearing up because it's already in her mind about how Bravo isn't being careful, because she said Bravo is not a low-key person. You are a very well-known person in Detroit. And you're flashy. I don't want anyone to plan out that they can hurt you, they can rob you. And she's just having this fear that something's going to happen to Bravo the same way something happened to her father. And she's worried about having that conversation with her daughters. And I want Lakita to get some type of counseling so she can release that fear that something's going to happen to Bravo. Okay? And you need to put your foot down and make him come home at a decent hour, you know? And figure out a way for him to manage his time better. And apparently you want him to navigate in having more restaurants instead of little lounges, little clubs, because he can be home at a decent time. He can hire people who can handle everything else for him. I get all that. I really do. But I feel like you don't want to put yourself out there because you're not ready for information about whether or not Bravo cheated. And again, these are just my opinions. These are my thoughts. Because while you have a valid fear of wanting to make sure he comes home safe, and he should be more communicative, and he should help you release that fear, there's other fears that you're not really ready to admit. You say you don't care who he's seeing, you don't care who's he with, you just want to make sure he comes home. Make sure he comes home, but you don't want him to come home with mess that you got to deal with. But again, I get you. And then we're going to move on. We're getting to the sit down between Kim and Christina. Kimberly already came in ready to be extra, ready to have a moment because she had a duffel bag filled with props that didn't land. They exchanged fake pleasantries, giving each other compliments, which is fake, and trying to figure out what went wrong. Christina says, I felt like I never had a chance to express how certain things made me feel, and I wanted to debunk some of those claims you said against me. And Kimberly said, I agree, and I brought my notebook because she wants to cross out and maybe, call out some lies that Christina might have said against what Kimberly might have written in her notebook. But keep that, Kimberly had nothing written in her notebook, which was a lame prop, because Christina followed the same exact plan, brought her handy day notebook, but it had claims. Like, she had numbered claims of her issues with Kimberly that she wanted to address. Got to give her that. Now, Kimberly want to make it seem as if Christina was trying to copy her. Girl, she wasn't trying to copy you. Like, why are we back to this mindset that someone's trying to copy somebody? Girl, I really cannot, okay? So the first instance that Christina wanted to debunk from Kimberly was, you said I was trying to be like you. Because she wants to use the notebook and you've always are trying to do things like me. But in the end, I'm just going to skip through this. You guys are totally two different people who operate on a different influence level. You have your own brand, Kimberly, where you promote events, you promote other things, you are a motivational speaker, you have your own lane. Christina is a fashion designer. She models brands. I think she has her own level of motivational speaking, but not on your wavelength. And like, all of y'all are in the same influencing world. Y'all both influence what y'all influence. It doesn't matter. There's room for everybody. Like, to try to count the times that someone did start influencing and you didn't start influencing until we weren't friends and you started influencing, it doesn't fucking matter. Who gives a damn? It's so petty, it's so surface, it don't make no fucking sense at all. But we're still in the dark, Kimberly, of what led to the demise of your friendship. We're stuck on that. You're supposed to be bringing up what led to the problems, what led to the issues. But instead, you just ignored the talking points and went on to question Christina as to why was she talking about her at your party and how I used my tears and manipulation. I was not crying. My face was beat. Either way, you were crying and it wasn't real. I didn't believe your tears at all and nothing got resolved. Nothing. Nothing. You had props from the beginning that didn't land. And you just wanted to make it your big moment by saying, oh, you want to call out that I got all your pieces in my closet? Because Christina made reference that Kimberly has had a couple of Christina's original pieces in her closet. And never said it was in your whole closet. Just say you had a few pieces. So right now she's just tossing out all these materials that look like tools, look like lace, calling them trash and trash, this trash. It's like, girl, how long have you had this trash? Like, this is lame. You kept all this shit for all these years? Girl, good night and goodbye. Your moment flopped and failed. Again, I'm done. I ain't got nothing else. That whole scene was stupid. Christina was allowing Kimberly to just let herself fall into a ditch. It was major desperation on Kimberly's part to make herself out to be that girl. And you're not that girl. And it's like, oh God, let this show go. I'm done. Let this show go. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video and I'll see you guys later. Bye.